And it's another thing for your viewers, for whoever. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
question: is the two words "black women" is that becoming triggering to black women? Just saying "black
That's
women."
I'm gonna tell you why it's triggering. It's triggering because they can't get outside of themselves when listening to someone they don't know and we generalize something. See, when we generalize something, we're saying the something, right? So if I say black women are loud, obviously I'm talking about all of the black women who are loud. But they, in their mind, they translate when we say black women, they translate that to all.
Oh, right.
And they always, and I'm introducing all on this one, but they always introduce the word all to the conversation.
Automatically, right.
Automatic.
What is it about not wanting to be accountable? And I really want someone to answer this. Like, what is it about not being accountable? Why does that hurt your pride, your ego, who you are? If anything, that will make you a much greater and better person. But why is accountability so hard to grasp, understand, and take into consideration, especially when dealing with your men, and more importantly, with dealing with yourself? Because you have to be accountable for self. That's all I want to ask.
And I just remember going in the hallway, walking back and forth, like, and I walked back up and I was like, you fucked your brother? You get what I'm saying? You fucked your brother. So I'm looking at them too. I'm looking at them like, what? I can't understand. So I start punching Steven. You know what I'm like, what the fuck is you doing to him? So I grabbed Steven and I grabbed a belt and I put a belt around his neck and I lifted him up like, do you like how this feels, being choked with a belt? So I dropped him. I held him up until he lost consciousness as well.
You were intending to...
No, I did not intend to kill Steven.
No, I'm not... Listen to my question. You were intending to inflict serious physical harm, but not kill him.
Definitely.
Okay. Did you also punch him?
Yes, I did. Multiple
also kick
times.
him?
Yes, I did.
You talked about choking him. Did you also burn him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how did you do that?
Hot water. Scalding hot water. In our bathroom, the hot water gets extremely hot. So, his private area, I stood him in the bathtub naked. You fucked up my son with your dick, you know? So yes, I threw hot water in his genital area multiple times. Multiple times. Every time Steven peed in my son's eyes. He put his dick in his ears, his nose. He peed. Matthew even told me one time, Mom, and in my eyes it was gooey, but it wasn't pee. And then right then it was like I didn't even know a 9-year-old could ejaculate. You get what I'm saying? So not only did you do that, you nutted in my son's eyes. So my son had to go through all this shit. So yes, I threw hot water on him repeatedly.
Did that make him burn?
Yes, it did. His skin came off.
Did you
His
also
skin
make
came
him
off.
drink Windex?
Yes, I did, because Matthew told me in the middle of the night he had took him in the basement and he made him drink the blue stuff from under the sink. And I'm like, what blue stuff? So I walked Maddie downstairs. He showed me what I said. You made Maddie drink fucking Windex. And then I went back to like years before, and I'm like, is this what was wrong with him? I thought Matthew had the stomach flu, where you vomit and have diarrhea. You get what? At the same time, at that time, this is what was going around. A lot of people had it, so this is what I thought Matthew had. He didn't. Stephen made him drink Windex. So yes, I made that boy drink Windex.
Okay, I'm just trying to clarify the record. Okay, again, you knew you were seriously harming him, but you didn't intend to murder him.
No.
Okay. But your actions ultimately caused his death.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, the Dutch, the Black Non-Democrat, and I got a special guest with me on the show today. My other half from the Truth is Controversial podcast, my man Bleak is in the building.
What's up?
And today we're going to be talking about what you guys see right there. Are black women becoming the face of abusing / killing their children? I know a lot of you guys came to my channel and subscribed to me based on this video. I mean, it was over 200 people subscribed to me based on a video I did a couple of months ago Her name is Michelle Blair. And Michelle Blair killed her 2 young children. She said the older one was molesting the other one, and she took the law into her own hands. She tortured her little boy, she tortured her little girl, and kept them in the freezer for over a year. And I played that entire courtroom confession, where she went in and y'all seen the face of evil. That's what we're going to be talking about today on the show. We're going to be talking about people in the daycare facilities kicking and abusing these children. And my man Bleak is going to tell us about a couple of more stories as well. Take it over, Bleak, because you got more information on that.
Oh yeah, well, just to give everybody, I guess, a heads up, or pretty much what transpired, right? Because I made a comment on a post that was showing two black women abusing some elderly patients at some type of facility, right? So now, mind you, just to give everybody clarification, now mind you, just coming on the heels of the girl Kayla, I forgot her last name, but in Oxon Hill, Maryland, who was abused. That's what you was alluding to, abusing the children, right?
Right.
Now, just the week before, I seen another black woman that had just killed her baby because I guess the baby father didn't want to be with her. And then a month before that, a couple weeks before then, was another incident where another woman, and I believe her sister, also killed their child. So it's just been really, really wild, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been really wild. And my thing was, when I posed the question as a comment, like, is black women becoming a face of abuse? Now, did you know how many people came at me because of how but if they were paying attention to how I'm phrasing the question, it's 2 parts to it. First of all, these stories are real, so we can't get away from that, right? But the second part is, I'm like, okay, it's either one or two things happening. Either it's an uptick of black women doing these things, or are these blog sites or whatever saying, let's put these stories up and let's draw attention to these stories and let's make
magnify them.
Right. So before I even got a chance to, I shouldn't even have to explain that, because I said, damn, is this a crazy trend? Are black women becoming the face of this? And before you know it, you had so many. And it's another thing for your viewers, for whoever, and it's a question. Is the 2 words black women, is that becoming triggering to black women? Just saying black women.
I'm gonna tell you why it's triggering. It's triggering because they can't get outside of themselves when listening to someone they don't know, and we generalize something. See, when we generalize something, we're saying the something, right? So if I say black women are loud, obviously I'm talking about all of the black women who are loud. But they, in their mind, they translate, when we say black women, they translate that to all.
Right.
And they always, and I'm introducing all on this one, but they always introduce the word all to the conversation.
Automatically. Right.
That's right.
And I don't know. I've always noticed,
bro.
Right. And I've always noticed that. And that speaks to, let's say this, right? And I try to tell, especially our people in general, if someone does something and it's outside of your character, outside of who you are, and black people in general have a thing with, if someone goes do something, like, we automatically become embarrassed by it. Like, you see this countless times. You can go to any video. If it's a fight video, you go in the comments, you're going to see this about 4 or 5 times at least. Why are we always acting crazy? Why are we always doing this? Why are we, right? So my thing is, let's say these mass shootings that happen, right? That tend to transpire, right?
Go ahead.
When these mass shooters go out and do it, you never see the race of the perpetrators now include that person as in a we conversation. It's always them. And that's something that we need to learn. And black women too need to learn that because one does something, it does not and if you bring it up on this show or whatever blog talks about it, I was trying to point it out to say it's very interesting that all of a sudden, even if it is an uptick of this happening, it's kind of crazy how these blog sites, but then it's kind of saying, you know what? I'm just making a point that this is something that I've been seeing. I'm making an observation. This is what I've been seeing, been transpiring. I've like, damn, because it's kind of glaring. Because the reason why I'm even noticing it, do people say anything about black on black like male violence? We see it and we just like whatever, because it's become so normal. Yep. It's normalized that if two black men fight, no one cares. If another black man kills another black man, no one cares unless that black man is famous. No one cares, right?
And then they just give it the excuse of, well, you know, they live around each other. That's what happens.
Exactly. There you go.
I get tired of that same old. I understand it. That's true. I understand that, you know, the government and Democratic Party and Republican Party and all of these people put us in the position to where we're on top of each other. Okay. And I do get that you're going to kill whoever is around you. You know what I mean?
Proximity. That's all it's about.
I understand it. But if that's going to be the answer or the counter argument to every time someone wants to address it, it will never, ever get resolved or have a conversation. Let's just say, okay, that is it. But that can exist with a conversation. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, when these type of things happen, we know the given narrative and why they do it. You know what I mean? We already understand that. Like, if you have any type of sense or any type of awareness about who we are, what we are, where we've been, and how things have been, and just say just over the last 40 to 50 years, then you already understand the narrative. You should know. But again, going back to this thing, and I'm saying this for black women to basically raise their consciousness awareness to say, don't become the face of this, because you see right now what they're trying to do. And if you keep falling for it, if you keep allowing or dismissing behavior just because it's another black woman, let her do her thing type shit, then what? Because then it seems as if no one can say anything to you, so then you will start to become the face of the title of this. And I'm seeing it now mark the date of this video, right? And take in consideration these stories that we just told about these last 3-4 incidents, and it's others. It's just some that I don't remember off the top of my head, like exactly what happened. But I know I've seen others, maybe about 6 or 7 different within the last, let's say, 30 days, right? I've seen this. So as of April 12th, 2023, let's see what transpires over the next several months. Because to me, when I started to see a pattern of things, I'm only addressing it to say, look, you see what's happening? I'm seeing what's happening. And don't fall for the trick of it. That's all I'm saying. Because now, and the thing about it is, here's the most thing. And what I mean by falling for the trick, first of all, you shouldn't be abusing nobody. Second, these videos are being recorded by the people. So why would you record this stuff and then put it out on your social media, then get mad when somebody calls you out on it to say you shouldn't be doing that? And then when I say, well, damn, this is something that's odd, that I'm seeing this blog site pick it up and they post it, then this person picks it up and they post it, this person, okay, now it's on the news, now it's in the newspaper or whatever. So, but then you get mad at people saying, why are y'all in my business? Why are you doing these things and putting your business out there for people to be in?
It's now, because, bruh, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't mean to cut you off, but
are you good?
When we black women say, men, y'all need to start taking care of your kids. They tell me that all the time, right? I take care of my kids, but they are right. it's a large amount of black women. I mean, not a large. It's an amount of black men that don't take care of their kids. I know this thing exists. See, I'm not going to sit up there and try to play semantics with you. You see? And black women, yes, I'm going to say black women. If y'all think I'm talking about all, have at it. But they think that they can just behave the way they behave, and someone approach them or address them on their behavior. They never want to just admit to it and then try to fix it. The thing is, it is a big uptick in the last 10 years of black women killing their children. I did stories after stories after stories. Tommy Sotomayor did stories after stories after stories. A lot of black men did story. Black women too did story. The Pink Book, shout out to her. She do these stories. The thing is, it's trauma, and they don't want to address the trauma. That Michelle Blair, she was literally in that courthouse. I want you to look at that. It's scary, bruh. But her mother, she talked about her mother. Her mother did the same thing to her. It's passed down behavior and trauma that these women do not want to address because they don't want to admit nothing. Now it becomes, it's a cycle. So therefore, it's just going to keep continuing. The thing is, it used to be the white woman's, white women used to be the face of this.
All right.
Black women didn't kill their children.
Not
but
at all.
in the last 10 years, this shit has been on a rise.
Right. And like I said, now they are providing the evidence of it. And that's the thing to me that's so like, I mean, to me, when anybody that does something that is obviously wrong, no one in their right mind will then record it. No one in their right mind would then
tell you why they record it. It's because it's normalized. Just like they go on Facebook and say my baby daddy ain't shit. In my eyes, I think if I go online and say my baby daddy ain't shit, that shows that I picked the ain't shit nigga. So at the end of the day, I will never do that. Like I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make this nigga look great.
I mean, it gets to the point because I remember, and I'm pretty sure we both from the generation where you ever like when you go out with your mother or your people would say always put on your Sunday's best or put your best foot forward, whatever, right? You have those little cliches. Basically always present yourself in the best light. It seems as if now people are hell bent on dismissing that. Like they don't care about presenting themselves in the best light. They don't care.
Class.
Yeah, they have no class, and that's what it comes down to. Is no class. Just having, like you said, no decorum. It's like whatever goes. It's like, and it started. I remember. I'm pretty sure. I remember, and this was so glaring to me. I remember when Monique did a video about how women come out the house. Now, to me, was just basic shit to me. Like we all have seen it. We all seen the bonnets and the pajamas. We seen that shit, right? But
Tommy called it the Jiffy Pop bag. Those are the
yeah, they
popcorn,
do be looking like that. Right. But to me, that's a very simple thing. And the way that she said it, I don't think she was bashing or belittling anyone. She was pretty much saying, like, look, it's a way to carry yourself as a young woman. Now, think about this. When you have the elders saying, look, this is the way you should be doing things, and then you have so much pushback and pretty much fuck you, what you talking about? It's like y'all act like she called y'all some dirty ass hoes, dirty my language on your channel, my fault. But
I got the bleep.
But I'm just saying, right? They act like they was being called out their name when it was just addressing, like, look, this is how you supposed to carry yourself, right? I think it came from a place of love. Me personally,
it did, and she always come from a place of. Well, I don't want to say that.
Because she be on fire too. But I'm saying for that particular video, she came from a place of love.
But for that she did, and that's the thing. Like you cannot, they again, they told Tommy, "Hey, can you just say it a little nicer? It ain't what you're saying, it's how you're saying it." Kevin Samuels came along. He said it a little nicer. They didn't like him. He died. They still shitted on him. It's like I come along. I say it. I'm nicer than Kevin Samuels, but I still get it. It's the point that you're saying it, bruh. They don't like the accountability. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. The Democratic Party done made it to where these chicks have no accountability. They don't hold them accountable. So now they don't feel they need to answer to anybody because they're independent. It's because they the shit. They that bitch. They the bad bitch. They don't need to be around these basic bitches. That's what it is.
Here's my question to your audience, right?
And they answer that
to the women, right? Because here's the thing: accountability has become one of those taglines, one of those words, right? But here's the thing: here's what I genuinely wants to know: what is wrong with accountability? What is wrong with that word? And do you not understand, like, where there's smoke, there's fire? And here's the thing: I've seen this myself. And I've experienced it myself. I've seen this over 1,000 times from different men from all over the country. They keep saying one thing: accountability. So when I say where there's smoke, there's fire, it has to be some truth to this. So
ain't nobody gonna call you a crackhead for 30 years and you ain't smoked no crack. I'm sorry.
And all I'm trying to say is, if it's just that simple, if it's really just that simple of saying, because when I think what men understand, and anybody with a logical mind understands, that once you become accountable for your actions, then you can change. You could address some things, because in that accountability, you alluded to it earlier, is that it's a lot of trauma there. Yeah. Now, until you address what you're accountable for, you can't fix your trauma. And what happens is, it tends to be this victimhood mentality and this blame game. So when you don't be accountable for what you bring to your own life, you then could pin on someone else. So again, my question is, what is it about not wanting to be accountable? And I really want someone to answer this. Like, what is it about not being accountable? Why does that hurt your pride, your ego, who you are? If anything, that will make you a much greater and better person. But why is accountability so hard to grasp, understand, and take into consideration, especially when dealing with your men, and more importantly, with dealing with yourself? Because you have to be accountable for self. That's all I want to ask.
And I'm going to be putting that as the beginning of this video, and see, that's how you do it. See, the thing is, people, that's why I like bringing Bleak on here, and I try to get past the criticism. Y'all have to see, the thing is, bro, when they come to my channel and I tell them about being accountable for their decision for laying down with Pookie and Ray Ray and then having Pookie and Ray Ray's baby. See, the thing is, we can get along if they just do one thing. If they just do one thing. And I guarantee once they do that, once they start, they have to start off with that. The reason why we have friction is because they start off like this. Well, he should have put on a condom. Well, he shouldn't have left. Well, he shouldn't have show her pipe dreams. Well, blase, blase, blah. They always jump what I want them to recognize first. If they just come to the channel and be like, bruh, you're absolutely right. We make bad decisions on Pookie and Ray Ray. We understand that it's trauma that makes us have these bad decisions. We understand that it's passed down behavior that we just can't kick. But at the end of the day, that man could have put on a condom too. That's all I gotta fucking say. And they will shut me up. How can I argue that? They don't want to take any iota of accountability. And that's where the black man, black woman dynamic is falling short, is because at the end of the day, you cannot. I told people men are held accountable the moment we walk out that door by
Oh
society.
yeah,
We
for
don't get
sure.
second chances. If I sign the birth certificate, I'm accountable financially for that little kid. If I,
Even if it's not yours,
even if it's not mine, I
you gotta
don't get
still,
to get.
you
If when
still
I
have to be
kill a
accountable.
kid, I'm just an evil piece of shit. They don't want to know what led me up to doing that. They don't want to know what medication I was taking. When a woman kills, oh, what was she going through? They get that shit, and that's why
They get the
channel.
sympathy.
That's why this channel exists. It's not to say men don't have to be accountable for anything. It's saying women have to be accountable for something.
Right.
Y'all not
Accountable,
accountable for shit.
pretty much being accountable as well.
Exactly.
And again, going back to the topic of this thing is like when we say is black women becoming the face of abuse, and it's hard to like now that door is starting to open, and once that crack is open and you can peep inside the room and you see how messy this room is, it's starting to be like, okay, yeah, this is something that needs to be addressed as well, because men typically could defend themselves, but who's there to defend the children or the elderly when we not around? See, and that's another thing. If we don't have police in our neighborhoods, criminals will run amok, right? We know that. So this is the same type of thing that's going on. I'm not calling our women criminals, far from it. But what I'm saying is when certain behaviors doesn't have no one to check, like when you look around, you say, hold on, shit, ain't nobody here to put me in the check. I could do what I want to do
from this store.
I could do what I want to do.
Store. Ain't nobody in the 7-Eleven. Fuck
There's
that.
There's no one to check. You know what I'm saying? There's no checks and balances. So when it's no checks and balances, we understand what happens. Now it's chaos. So my thing is, at the end of the day, I'm telling, and I'm saying, don't fall for this. Don't fall for this narrative, because once that door is open, that crack is open, everybody start looking at it. Now we're going to start putting on forefront. And the thing about it is, for so long, black men in this country has been the villain. We have been the villain. Now, when we pretty much are out the picture, and you can no longer blame us, then who becomes the villain? Then who needs the hold up?
Everybody else.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going to start happening.
Even the kids, they blame the damn kids. It's some women out this joint that just should have never been a parent, a mother. And I done seen some shit. I seen that video of that daycare. They kicking these kids, bruh. Like they are treating these kids like shit. And imagine what they're doing at home to their own children, man. I put out this video a long time ago, still on Dutch Talk TV, with Nia Green got her ass whooped by her mother on Facebook Live, 14-year-old little girl. And she got her ass beat. And her mother sitting up in there with booty shorts and halter tops and fixing her shit while her other child is filming this shit. And she tagging her, talking about your pussy stink. Look, her pussy stink because you ain't teach her how to wash that motherfucker. That's why.
That shit crazy. That shit.
But anyway, we gonna end it on that. And I put the link to Nia Green getting her ass whooped. And Nia Green about 25 now, because this about 8 years ago. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, we still have to hold each other accountable in this community, and we cannot do that unless we trust each other.
And that's the thing,
word, brother.
Well, that's the thing. I was going to just say, it's not just about our women being accountable. Everyone needs to be accountable. But if everyone needs to be accountable, then our women should definitely be accountable too. Because at the end of the day, this is about bringing, showing the problems and then giving a solution. That's the thing. It's like we see what's going on, like we understand what's going on, and anybody, like I said, with common sense can see what's wrong, what's happening. Men are missing from the homes. We understand why. We understand how that transpired. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. Anybody, like I said, you got intelligence, men are not in the home, and when now we're starting to see the results of that. First, we started to see the results in our children. our
Mm-hmm.
children started to react first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the most vulnerable. But now we're starting to see our women. Now you can look around and see. Like, no, if you're not blind to what's going on in our society, especially within our communities, you can definitely see it's a big problem.
Yep.
And a part of that is if if at least you don't want to be with your children's father, if y'all cannot find no type of way to co-parent or make amends and be together, then at
Mm-hmm.
least you have to start fixing yourself. And men as well, we got men as well. Everyone needs to be accountable. Everyone needs to be mature, grow up, and just get to the point where we can start fixing our problems. And but the number one thing before we even begin to fix the problem, we have to recognize the problem. But how you
Mm-hmm.
recognize the problem, you have to have accountability to understand that you play a part in your own shit. That's just what it is.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. We're going to leave the conversation to you guys. We just gave you damn near half an hour to, let all of that marinate. But we're going to leave the conversation to you guys in the comment section. Again, this video might not get monetized, so right down there for the nature of the I don't know, they do monetize. Look, that Michelle Blair joint, they monetize that, but YouTube will come back around and take it. When they do the scans of the channels, they do it all the time. So that's why I'm asking you guys to donate to the channel. I'm not demanding that you donate. You can donate in the form of a like or word of mouth or subscribe or something. But that cash app is right there, baby.
Right there.
Hit that cash app, and $3, $2, I don't care what you give, it will be shown in the show. I appreciate you guys coming through. I appreciate my man Bleak coming through.
Always.
And y'all make sure y'all stay unplugged from false narratives. I catch you on the next one. Peace.